Hello everyone. Let us start our lecture class. Let us recall previous class lecture. We have completed Newton divided difference in the previous class. Now we will continue and Newton divided difference only, and we will discuss the particular case of Newton divided difference. Okay. So let us recall what is Newton divided difference formula. Newton divided difference formula. Divided difference formula for computing interpolating polynomial. Okay. Interpolating polynomial. If n plus 1 data points, if n plus 1 data points are available, then we can construct a unique polynomial, polynomial of degree less than equal to n, passing through n plus 1 data points. Okay. So different form of the polynomial is possible. So the one form about what we are talking, that is Newton divided difference, that I'm writing here. Pnx equal to f of x naught. Let us suppose the data points are what? I should write data point also. Just a minute. Okay. Data points are what? x0, fx0, x1, fx1, and xn, fxn. These are the data points through which we are finding a polynomial that is passing through these n plus 1 data points. Okay. N plus 1 points. Okay, these are the points. So we can always construct a polynomial of degree n or less than n. And the form of the polynomial I'm writing that is what? fx0 plus x minus x0, f of x0, x1, x minus x0, x minus x1, f of x0, x1, x2, and so on, plus x minus x0, x minus xn minus 1. Here the polynomial of degree n, that's why this is x minus x0 to how it is increases. Just a minute. Okay, x minus xn plus 1. This is the, just taking this point. So this polynomial is what? X minus x0 to x minus xn minus 1, and this value f of x0, x1, x2, this is the nth order divided difference. Okay, so this is a polynomial of degree n passing through x0, x1, x2, xn points, and this is the form of the Newton divided difference polynomial. Now what we want? We want to find out its particular case, that is Newton forward and Newton backward. Whenever the data points x0, let us suppose this x and the point are what? Fx, they are equally spaced. equally spaced means what? The difference between these points, like if we are taking any two particular points, then the difference is same, like all between the all points. Means what? That means x1 minus x0, let us suppose the difference is h, then x2 minus x1 is also h. That means all these data points are equally spaced. So data points, if data points are equally spaced, then Newton divided difference can be converted into a Newton divided difference formula can be converted into a simple form, converted into a simple form that we can call as Newton forward and Newton backward. Okay, let us discuss first Newton forward. So these points are equally spaced, so we can write it xi plus 1 minus xi equal to h, where I equal to what? 0, 1, 2, n. So this is applicable for all points for the data. Okay, x1 minus x0 is x, x2 minus x1 is h, xi plus 1 minus xi equal to h. Okay, so n minus 1, yes, it should be n minus 1, then only this we can write. Okay, so all these points are equally spaced. The difference between the point is what? That is h. So we can write it as, okay, so we can write x1 equal to what? From here, x0 plus h, लिख सकते हैं. x2 we can write it as x0 plus 2h, we can write it, because the difference between x1 and x2 is h, then the difference between x0 and x2 will be what? It will be 2h, or we can write it x2 as x0 first point plus 2h, or we can write here as xi equal to x0 plus ih. Okay, where
I plus 1h नहीं आएगा?
I plus 1h, why? If I equal
अच्छा ठीक है
I equal to 0, 1,
समझ
2
गया.
n, है ना? So this we can write it like that.
मैंने ना गलत नोट कर लिया था इसलिए.
Okay, no problem. So this we can write it as in this form. So xi is what? I is any general point, 0, 1, 2, and whatever. Okay, when I equal to 0, then we are getting only x0. So 0h. x0 is the same point as x0. When x1, then x0 plus h. Okay, so it should be clear. One more thing I want to explain here. If x is any data point, like I will write in the next page, but I just want to take x is any general point. Okay, let x is any general point that is belonging to the interval x0 to xn, and this x is not equal to any of xi, where I equal to 0, 1, 2, n. Okay, x हमारा क्या point है? That is different from these given data point, but it is lying inside the interval. तो x हमारा कुछ भी हो सकता है. That is in between from x0 to xn. Okay, so we can write this general point as x equal to x0 plus sh. x0 plus sh means what? Suppose आपके पास data point जो है वो एक 0 है, 1, 2, 3. Okay, these are the data point. This is x0, this is x1, this is x2, and this is x3. तो x जो है वो आपका क्या है? Like h आपका यहाँ पर क्या है? h is your 1. Okay, x is the point that is not belonging to the interval 0 to, that is belonging to 0 to 3, but x is not equivalent to any of the xi point. Okay, ठीक है, तो x की वैल्यू x1, x2, x3 के इक्विवेलेंट नहीं है. So x will be any point. Suppose x could be any point in between 0 to 1 or 1 to 2 or 2 to 3. So we can write x in term of x0 plus sh. अगर हमारे पास suppose in this interval x is suppose 0.5. So what would be the value of how we can write this x? Then we can write as x as x0 0 plus 0 plus 1 by 2 into h is what? That is 1. It is already given. Okay. So आपके पास s की value क्या हो जाएगी? S is 1 by 2. Suppose x
0.5.
is okay. Now suppose you are having x as 1.5 or 1.1. Accordingly, s will vary. So it should be clear what is x. So x is any point lying inside the interval 0 to n, 0 to x0 to xn, but different from the given data point. So we can write x0 x equal to x0 plus sh, and s is what? That is belonging to the real number. That is any real number. Okay. And as we are taking that value, s is that value by which we can approximate the value of x inside the interval 0 to x, x0 to xn. Okay. So it should be clear. Next is what? Now, now what we want here to convert this formula. This is Newton divided difference formula into a specific form. So ये जो Newton forward formula that we are going to derive, that is the particular form of Newton divided difference. So we will express all these terms in term of Newton forward term. Okay, and this formula is we actually what we want. We want to write this Newton divided difference formula for equally spaced point. So what will happen with this formula? So let us compute the value of x minus x0 because it is given in the formula. That's why we are computing the value of x minus x0. X आपका क्या है? x0 plus the value of x we are assuming x0 plus sh. Okay. So what is the value? Minus x0. X ka value, we are putting the value of x as x0 plus sh. It is coming out to be sh. So this is the value. We have computed one. Okay. What is the value of x minus x1? Because it is given in the formula. So x is what? That is x0 plus sh minus x1. Okay. So what is coming out to be sh? We can write it like that, and we can take minus sign outside. Then it is coming out to be x1 minus x0. And you already know the value of x1 minus x0 is what? X1 minus x0 is h. Okay. So what you are getting as h minus h, we can write it as s minus 1 into h. Similarly, we can compute the value of x minus x2. It is coming out to be
h into s minus 2.
S minus x2. So you can write it like that, s minus 2 into h. Or in general, we can write as the fourth point I'm writing x minus xi as this is I, then it is s minus I into h. You can compute it by the similar way. Okay, so x minus xi is this value, or x minus xn, s minus n. Okay, so just we have computed value. We'll use these values in that formula. Next, one more thing. What is forward formula? I'm saying Newton forward formula. So what is, yes?
मैम एक बारी पिछली स्लाइड कर दीजिए प्लीज. मैम नेक्स्ट वन.
This one?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. What is forward? I'm calling the name of the formula that I'm going to derive, that is Newton forward. So what is forward means? Forward, here we will use, in place of divided difference, we will use forward operator. Forward operator का मतलब क्या है? Suppose you are at some step and you want to go forward. Like maybe you are at the step x0 and you want to go forward x0 plus h. Okay. So forward means that only. Let us explain in mathematical form. Forward notation. Okay. Forward notation is what? That is del operator. That means what? So what do you mean by del of fx naught? If I'm writing del of fx naught, that means what? suppose this is the point x0 and this is the point x0 plus h. Just a minute, I'm just doing a mistake. Yes. Okay. So you can say f of x0 plus h minus f of x0. Okay, that means next step minus previous step. So next step minus previous step, that can be written, this two term can be written in a single term by applying forward operator. This is called forward operator, f of x naught. Okay, so that's why we are calling it Newton forward formula. So, okay, now again go back to the Newton divided difference formula. In Newton divided difference formula, you are having, I'm writing that formula again so that it will be easy to understand how we are doing. P and X, Newton forward formula. Sorry, Newton divided difference formula. Newton divided difference formula. Okay, so formula is what? F of x naught. Yes, like I have seen some videos on YouTube. So they have mentioned there is small bracket, but this small bracket should not be there. There always we are expressing divided difference by the this is square bracket. So it should be clear. If it is a square bracket, that means it is divided difference. But in some, I was just checking some question from YouTube. Then I found like not many people have done mistake by taking small brackets. Okay, so this is standard notation. If it is not given in any book, that means they are doing wrong. Okay, so x minus x naught, f of x naught x1, x minus x naught, x minus x1, f of x naught, x1, x2, okay. X minus x naught 2, x minus x1 minus 1, f of x naught 2, xn. Okay. Now, we have already computed. If you go back and see, these values are already computed. That means the polynomial values are computed in terms of h operator, because, sorry, in terms of h value, because while we are getting s and h we are getting because of equal difference between the data points. Okay. Now, these values are computed already. Now we are interested to write divided difference in terms of forward formula. So let us write f of x0, x1. What is the value of fx0, x1? The value of fx0, fx1 is f of x1 minus fx0. So zeroth order divided difference we are writing. Then this is square bracket and small bracket are same. It is equivalent to f of x1 only. Okay, so it is not making any difference. But whenever we are talking about first order, second order, then it makes sense. Okay, so f of x1, that means what? This is equivalent to fx0 plus h. That means next step minus previous step, that is del of fx0. So we can write it del f of x0. Okay, upon x1 minus x0 is what?
मैम
Is h. Yes.
हम पहले कुछ और नहीं करते थे, मतलब वो x minus x1 अपॉन ऐसे करके कुछ
क्या करते थे?
हम इसमें ही
किसमें?
एक आपने बताया था कि x minus x1 अपॉन फिर हम कुछ और करते थे x1 minus x0 ऐसे करके नहीं करते, इसको निकालते थे.
किसको निकालते हैं? इसको टेबल
नहीं
से
नहीं नहीं,
निकाल. हाँ हाँ.
वो जो f of x1 ये.
F of x1, this one.
Yes मैम.
You are getting confused. This is the function value and this is the data point and this is the function value at this data point. So this is x0, x1, x2 up to x, and function value क्या है आपका? F of x0. So since we are using Newton divided difference, so we can write it in terms of square bracket for zeroth order divided difference. Both the things are same. Whenever we are using like f first order divided difference, in that case, suppose this is fx1. Okay, this is f of x1. Both are the
अच्छा
same.
ठीक है मैम.
Don't get confused. Na? So this is, we are calling it as fx0, x1. It is equal to f of x1 minus f of x0 upon x1 minus x0. This is the same
x1
thing.
minus x0. Yes
Okay?
मैम. Yes.
Whatever I wrote it, that is same. Now compute the value of this term. F of x0, x1, x2 equal to, what is the formula? This value minus previous 2-point value. So this is f of x1, x2, okay, minus f of x0, x1 upon final point x2 minus x0. Okay, now this value is equivalent to what is, just check this value. When f of x0, x1, it is equal to what? The previous value, x0. Del fx0 upon the difference between these 2 points is what? H. If we check what is the difference in the denominator, what is the denominator value? That is x2 minus x0, that is 2h. Okay, and fx1, x2 minus fx0, x1. So this will be what? It will be del, just
x1 by h.
del f of x1 upon h minus del f of x0 upon h. Okay, so let's write it in a proper way. What we are getting? Del f of x1 minus del fx0 upon 2h. Sorry. Del fx0 2h square, that is the value of f of x0, x1, x2. Okay, if we'll take del outside, because it is an operator, it can be written as it is f of x1 minus f of x0 upon 2h square. This value is coming out to be, it is again fx1 minus fx0, it is equal to what? Del fx0. So we can write it fx1 minus fx0, that is del into del fx0 upon 2h square. This value is what? Del square fx0 upon 2h square. Okay, so this is the value of fx0, x1, x2. Okay, now similarly you can compute, actually this is 2 into 1 generally, actually 2 you are getting from here, this 2 you are getting whether this difference. Okay, whenever you are computing second order divided, so third order divided difference, in this case you are getting 3h. Okay, 3h, and from the above value you will get 2h. So it is coming out to be a factorial value. So 1 into 2 we can write it as factorial 2 h square del square fx0. If you compute all other values, so I'm writing general value, you can do it by yourself and check it what is coming out to be. It is del q fx0 factorial 3 h cube. Okay, similarly another term you will compute it, so it is coming out to be fx0 up to xn and plus one term when there are 4 terms. Okay, the final term is what? 3. So 3, 3, 3. Similarly you can write it del n fx0 upon factorial n h raised to power n. Okay, so we can write it, so just put all these values into the formula, in this formula. Okay, we computed all these values in terms of forward difference, and these values we have computed in the previous slide here. Okay, now put all these values into the formula. So what is coming out to be? X, I told you we have assumed that x0 plus sh. So Pn x0 plus sh. So we are getting a polynomial in term of s. Okay, fx0, same value, this. Okay, plus put the value of x minus x0, that is what? sh. X minus x0 is sh, and the value of this fx0 fx1, it is this value. So del fx0 upon factorial 1 plus next value will be what? S minus 1 h square del square fx0 upon factorial 2 h square. So this h is getting cancelled.
S.
Yes. S
h into s minus 1 नहीं आएगा
या
वहाँ पे s into s minus 1 जहाँ आपने लिखा है
हाँ क्या आएगा
h into s minus 1 नहीं आएगा
बेटा? एक तो एस एच आता है, दूसरा एस माइनस वन इंटू एच है ना. गो बैक एंड सी. एक्स माइनस एक्स एन की वैल्यू क्या है? एस माइनस वन इंटू एच. एंड एक्स माइनस
into
एक्स
h
की वैल्यू है एस एच, है ना? एस से मल्टीप्लीकेशन है. सो वेन एवर यू आर गेटिंग दिस वैल्यू एक्स माइनस
अच्छा
एक्स जीरो,
ठीक है
एक्स माइनस
ठीक
एक्स
है
वन. So this
ठीक
is
है
SH and this is S minus 1 into H. Okay?
या
Yes. So S minus N minus 1 H raised to power N. Okay? Del N fx0 upon factorial N H raised to power N, that is get cancelled. So finally formula is coming out to be x naught plus sh. It is very easy to remember. Just I'm just writing how to compute this formula. The derivation is not important, but I want that you should understand here also H. That I want that you should understand how we are getting this formula. This is the particular case of Newton divided difference. Okay, that's why I have done this. Otherwise, s minus 1 del square fx0 and so on plus s minus 1 s minus n minus 1 upon factorial n del n fx0. Okay, so this is your Newton forward formula. Okay, and let's do one example. Yeah, if it is asked, I think it should be clear now. Some function is example. Some data points are given to you 0, 1, 2, 3, and function values given at these data point are 1, 2, 1, 10. It is asked compute function value at 0.5. Okay, if it is asked to compute f 0.5, these data points are given to you. So you have like what are the procedure to compute this value? What you can do, you can compute Lagrangian interpolating polynomial because आपके पास data points available हैं 0, 1, 1, 2, 2, 1 and 3, 10. These data points are available. So if it is asked to compute the value of the function at any point in between, so what will click to you? Like find out a polynomial that is passing through these points. Okay, how to compute this polynomial? You can apply Lagrangian method. You can apply Newton divided difference. Okay, you can apply forward. Why forward and why not divided difference? Why not Lagrangian? Lagrangian and all these methods will give you same polynomial. But difference is what? Suppose you are applying Lagrangian. In Lagrangian, calculation is too much. Okay, if you are applying Newton divided difference, so in Newton divided difference, you have to compute, whenever you are computing table, then you have to divide, like, actually, what is the difference between Newton divided difference and Newton forward? In forward, I am explaining it with the help of table. If you are applying Newton forward, then you have, like Newton forward is applicable only whenever you are having equally spaced points. So you will check what kind of points are given, 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so they are equally spaced. H is what here? H equal to 1. Okay, so if you are applying Newton divided difference, it ultimately it will come out to be like same thing, like del fx. If you are computing, suppose f of x0 x1, so every time denominator will be coming out to be same, like fx0 x1 will be what? Fx1 minus fx0, it is coming out to be x1 minus x0. These are all equally spaced points. So denominator, you are computing denominator again and again, but it is not making any sense. Ultimately, the formula, that whatever the value will compute, it is coming out to be the same value as we are doing with the help of a Newton forward formula. So that's why we will try not to apply divided difference whenever they are equally spaced point. ठीक है, तो simple है इसको, like how to compute that del f x0. because this is what x0 point, x1 point, x2 point, and x3 point. So it is coming out to be what? 2 minus 1. 2 minus 1 equal to 1. 1 minus 2, it is minus 1. And 10 minus 1, it is what? 9. Okay. Then del square fx. It is very simple to compute this table. Okay, minus 1 minus 1, minus 2. 9 minus 1, that is 9 minus 1, it is 10. Next value will be what? That will be del 3fx. 12. So in this table, we are always if we are applying forward, then we are interested in the first value, as we always interested in Newton divided difference table first value. Okay, Newton divided difference, we are also using first value of the table, and the same thing we are doing here. Okay, so now apply formula. What you have to compute? You have to compute f of 0.5. F of 0.5, that means what? X equal to 0.5. That means the general point that is lying inside the interval 0 to 3, but different from this point. So I told you x is equal to what? X equal to, we are taking x naught plus sh. Actually here formula we derived in term of s. Okay. So we have to compute the value of s from here. So x is what? That is 0.5. X naught is what? This is the point, that is 0. Plus h is what? That is 1. Okay. So s is coming out to be what? 0.5. Okay. So s is 0.5. Only you have to put all this value into this formula. So now p, what you are, so you are computing function value. So p and 0.5. You are computing, that is equivalent to what? F of x naught. F of x naught is what? That is 1 plus s fx naught plus s del fx naught. So s is what? That is 0.5. Del fx naught is what? That is 1. This is del fx naught. Del fx naught. That is 1 plus s into s minus 1. 0.5 into 0.5 minus 1. Del square fx naught, that is minus 2. Okay. Upon factorial 2. 0.5 s minus 1, s minus 2. Okay. 0.5 minus 1. 0.5 minus 2 into 12 upon factorial 3. Okay. So simply we have applied this formula and then we are getting result. So this will give you the value of the polynomial at any point in between from 0 to 3. Okay. So any doubt up to here you have, then ask. Otherwise I am proceeding to the backward formula. No. Okay. I'm having 10 minutes, so I will try to find out one more formula, that is Newton backward formula. This is similar to this, only the difference is what? Newton backward formula. Backward formula का मतलब क्या है? If you see from here, if it is asked, compute the value of the function at 2.5. If it is asked, compute, in the previous example, compute f of 2.5. Yeah, compute f 2.5 in the previous example. So how to compute? For that, we can derive one more formula, because if we'll use that formula, by that formula we are getting value that is better than the value that we computed by the forward formula. So in backward formula, what we do, we write point in such a way: xn, xn minus 1, xn minus 2, x naught. Okay. हम क्या करते हैं, डेटा पॉइंट्स को रिवर्स साइड से लिखना शुरू कर देते हैं. तो xn अब आपका जो है वो फर्स्ट पॉइंट हो गया, xn माइनस सेकंड पॉइंट एंड थर्ड पॉइंट, xn minus 2 third point. Okay, similarly we can write data function value at these data points, fxn minus 2. Okay, fx naught. After that, what we do, we will apply same formula, like actually just a minute, I will write directly result. अब आप क्या करेंगे, now you will write Newton divided difference formula for these data point. अभी Newton divided difference formula आपका क्या हो जाएगा, x0 की जगह आपका xn आ जाएगा Newton divided difference formula. Formula for this data point. Okay, so आपका क्या होगा? Pn x f of xn, okay, plus x minus xn f of xn minus 1, okay, and so on, x minus xn, x minus xn minus 1, and so on, x minus x1, and f of xn to x0. Okay, so this is your Newton divided difference formula. We will write Newton divided difference formula in terms of backward operator. So I just want to introduce here one backward operator. What is backward operator? Backward operator. Forward form operator we have introduced. That means word operator. I just recall operator. Backward operator का मतलब वो होता है we will write we will express backward operator by this symbol del of fx naught. If we are writing, that means what? F of x naught minus f of x naught minus h. Okay, that means we are going backside. Suppose you are at this point x naught, so x naught minus h, this point. So del fx naught means what? Fx naught, this point minus back point, fx naught minus h. Okay, so this is backward operator, just opposite to the forward operator. Okay, and also we will since we have to write this formula in term of backward formula, so we will compute the value of these all these terms. Okay, so what is x minus xn? First compute x minus xn. Okay, what is x here? X we will choose by the same way as we have taken in the previous formula. Okay, so what we will take x here? Just a minute. Let x equal to, x is what? X is the point lying from xn to x0, any point. Okay, different from these data point. That's why we will assume x as x equal to xn plus sh. अब आपके पास आपने क्या किया? डेटा पॉइंट को रिवर्स फॉर्म में लिख दिया है. एस आपका क्या है? जैसे कि अगर सपोज हम इसी की बात करते हैं, आपके पास कोई पॉइंट है 10, 9, 5, 10, 9, 8, 7. These data points हैं. This is your x point, है ना? This is your x4, this is x3, this is x2, this is x1 and that x0. Okay, तो आपके पास जो x होगा, x will be what? X will be any point lying inside the range from 6 to 10, but we are writing in a reverse order. तो आप कैसे लिखेंगे? You will write 10 minus होना चाहिए ना? So I am writing here xn plus sh. So s is what? It could be negative term. S is belonging to the real number. Accordingly, the value of s can be chosen out of this range. हमको suppose चाहिए यहाँ पर 9.5. So how you will write? Suppose x is 9.5. How you will write this? You will write x as xn. xn का मतलब क्या है? 10 plus s
minus 0.5.
0.5. So minus sign we have to take because you have to go back, है ना? Minus, or we can say minus of s. आपके पास क्या होना चाहिए? S should be, you want 9.5. So 0.5 आ जाएगा ना? है ना? H is your 1. So that's why S will take value accordingly as we are writing data. So X is what? Xn plus SH. So now we will compute the value of X minus Xn. As we have computed, X minus Xn will be what? Xn plus SH. Xn plus SH. I'm writing it fastly so that you can understand, because if the previous is clear, so you can understand it very fastly. X minus Xn minus 1 is what? S plus 1 into H. Just try to compute this value. How we are X minus Xn minus 1. If this thing is clear, then you can get this also. Otherwise, I'm writing it again. What is the value of X? X is Xn plus SH. Okay. Minus this Xn minus 1. Xn minus 1. So it is coming out to be SH plus Xn minus Xn minus 1. Xn minus Xn minus 1 जैसे क्या होगा? That is H, because 10 और 9 का difference कितना है? That is H. Okay, final value 10 minus 9, it is positive H. So that's why we can write it SH plus H equal to S plus 1 into h. Okay, so similarly we can write other values, x minus xi, s plus I into h. Okay, now let us compute divided difference term in term of backward formula. F of xn minus 1, it will be what? F of,
मैम
yes,
हम वो प्रीवियस फॉर्मूला दिखाना एक मिनट, वो सिमिलरली वाला.
this one, oh yeah,
हाँ यस मैम, ठीक है.
ठीक है. Now compute the value of f of xn minus 1. f of xn minus 1 कैसे भी लिख सकते हैं, बट न्यूमरेटर अगर हमने पहले लिया है तो डिनोमिनेटर वैल्यू भी आपकी फर्स्ट ही आएगी. कैसे
थोड़ा गलत नहीं है वो फॉर्मूला, वो s प्लस आई इंटू एच, क्योंकि अगर हम n माइनस वन पुट कर दें i की जगह तो फिर हमारा वो s प्लस n माइनस वन इंटू एच आ जाएगा.
यस मैम, मैम n माइनस आई आना चाहिए ना. x माइनस x n माइनस आई.
just a minute. x is what? That is xn plus sh. ठीक है, and minus xi. Okay, difference between these element is what? If we go back and then check, देखिए xn और xn minus 1 का difference कितना है? xn minus 1, it is h. xn minus 2, it is 2h. xn minus, this is 2h. Okay,
वो फॉर्मूला बिल्कुल सही है, बस वहाँ पे n माइनस आई आना चाहिए i की जगह.
हाँ ठीक है, ठीक है, ठीक है. ओके, x माइनस आई, xn माइनस xi. एक्चुअली हमको अगर ये वैल्यू चाहिए तो h है, 2h है. I means what we can write in term of n minus I. Yes, xn minus 1. This is 2. If I'm writing this n minus 2, तो n minus I आएगा. ठीक है, n minus 1. ठीक है, thank you. Okay, so I told you this value f of xn minus 1. So we can write it in term of backward formula. So backward, that means xn and back, we are going backside one step. That's why we are writing it is in term of fxn upon h. Okay, similarly you can compute all these values and xn minus 1, xn minus 2. I'm not emphasizing on more on this formula because proof is not in the syllabus, but I'm just telling you how we are computing, and this is interesting to understand. That's why. Okay, h square factorial 2. Okay, similarly you can compute the value of xn minus 1, x0. It is coming out to be del n fxn upon factorial n h raised to power n. So after putting all these values, what formula we are getting, that I'm writing finally. Okay, f of pn x equal to f of xn, now I'm writing plus s del of fxn plus s minus 1, sorry, s plus 1 del square fxn factorial 2 and so on, plus s plus 1 s plus n minus 1 del n fxn upon factorial n. Okay, where the value of s is what? That is x, as we are assuming as x as x naught plus sh. So the value of s
सेम ही हो गया,
सेम ही हो गया, बस s यहाँ पर नेगेटिव होता है और यहाँ जो पॉइंट्स हैं that we are taking from the back side, है ना, and operator we are using this. Okay, so let us, s आपका सेम ही होगा, यहाँ से देखने में सेम लग रहा है, but always you will get negative value whenever you are writing values of x from last to first. Okay, let's do that same example as we have done previous. This question, you have to compute the value of,
वो अपने एंड,
yes, now compute the value of,
वो अपने एंड में क्या लिखा था मैम? x नॉट प्लस एस एच.
sorry, xn, यहाँ पे थोड़ा xn होना चाहिए, ठीक है, x minus xn होना चाहिए. Now compute in the same example, we are doing same example.
मैम टाइम हो
only कितना टाइम है?
2 मिनट ज्यादा हो गए.
एक्स्ट्रा हो गया, चलिए ठीक है, कोई बात नहीं. आई विल डू दिस क्वेश्चन इन द नोट्स एंड सेंड इट टू यू. हाँ बोलिए.
रिपीट, बस प्रीवियस स्लाइड कर दीजिए सिर्फ एक सेकंड.
So this is the formula, just note down this formula. In the
जहाँ पे
next
सिमिलरली वाली चीज चाहिए.
okay, in the in the next class what we will do, we will we will do lot many question based on Newton, forward, backward, divided difference and Lagrange. Okay, we will do only questions in the next class. Okay, हाँ बताइए अब क्या मेरे.
थैंक यू मैम.
ठीक है. So I will send you notes whatever I have done here, and also question based on these 2 formulas. Okay, thank you.